You're sitting there watching this and you're thinking, by God, I'm going to change something. I always say, keep reminding yourself that you have tremendous reservoirs of potential within you. And therefore, you are quite capable of doing anything you set your mind to. You really can. I don't care what the cynics tell you. Quit listening to some of your peers. Now, all you must do is figure out how you can do it, not whether you can or not. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? You've got to create a sense of urgency. I'm going to do it right now.
You keep telling yourself what you know. But what do you believe?
You're not where you want to be. You feel like you're supposed to be somewhere else. Say you could snap your fingers and be wherever you wanted to be. I bet you'd still feel this way, not in the right place. The point is, you can't get so hung up on where you'd rather be that you forget how to make the most of where you are.
What are you telling me?
Take a break from worrying about what you can't control. Live a little.
Whatever you believe with feeling, and this is the key, with feeling, and the more emotion you put into a belief, becomes your reality. Becomes your reality because you will always act in a manner consistent with your beliefs. As a matter of fact, your entire reality right now is simply an outward picturing of your most intensely held beliefs. If you believe something that is positive or believe something that is negative, or as Henry Ford said, if you believe you can do a thing or if you believe you cannot, you are right. Our beliefs do form our realities. To the degree to which we believe anything to be true, our beliefs act as sort of like a screen. They filter out any information that is inconsistent with our beliefs. We do not see opportunities if we are convinced that there are no opportunities. We do not see possibilities for success if we don't believe that success is possible for us. However, if we begin to change our beliefs, we begin to change our realities.
The biggest lesson, life lesson that I've learned is the power of the mind, and just how important it is to look at yourself at a high regard and to believe in yourself. I think in order to paint a bright future for yourself, you have to be able to see it in your mind. You have to believe in it, and the more you believe in it, the more your world will start to change, and the more you'll just start to see your beliefs come to pass. So, to answer your question, just self-belief.
One of the most powerful ways to achieve the financial goals you set for yourself is to use your powers of visualization. This means seeing yourself actually doing the things that you would be doing to achieve your goals. Visualization activates your superconscious capabilities and releases your mental potential. You'll actually begin to receive a steady flow of ideas and energy for goal attainment. The clearer the picture is in your mind, the more rapidly your subconscious and superconscious go to work to bring it into your reality.
Let's pretend that you can have anything you want, no holds barred. Whatever it is, write it down. And then using things like visualization and affirmations, you can start turbocharging that vision with intention, and then some of the tools that come out of the law of attraction work and so forth. But you first have to know where you're going. I liken it to a GPS system in a car. Your subconscious mind works the exact same way. It is a programmable GPS system that will figure out the path if you program it correctly, which is putting in a vision of the destination. That's all you have to do.
Now, when you think about money, money is really an idea. You say, that's money. No, money is an idea. It's manifest on paper. Now, paper used to be wood. It didn't seem to make sense. Well, you alter the vibratory rate of the energy that's called wood, and pretty soon it's called paper. And then you put ink on it, and now we call it money. If it can be neither created nor destroyed, it must already be here. If we can't destroy it, if heat will cause the energy that we call water to move into an etheric state, I would imagine heat would cause what we call money to move into an etheric state. And there it goes. Now, where is it? You say it's gone. It's not gone. Still here. You see, you'll never see it on the level it's on now with your physical sensory factor sight. But if you use your intellect and develop understanding, you'll know that it's still here.
Meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief. And so right around 2010, So I took myself from being very average-minded to actually believing that I was the shit, and believing that I could be the shit, and that I could be the GOAT and be the greatest and never lose. And I took myself to a different place mentally, and a lot of it came from...
Power of visualization is neutral. Like a two-edged sword, it can cut in either direction. It can either make you a success or make you a failure. Visualization brings you whatever you vividly and intensely imagine, whether good or bad. Continually feed your mind with clear, exciting, emotional pictures. Remember, your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions.
You are not stuck with the thoughts that you think. You can let them rise up, but you don't have to grab them and grip onto them and wrestle them to the ground. And be like, oh, there's that stupid thought that my dad taught me to think. Bye, Dad. I choose to think something else because I know what cognitive bias modification is. And that horse shit that you said, that I was a failure or didn't mount up to something or wasn't wanted, I don't believe that shit anymore. Because it's important to me to not only see hearts, but it's important to me to encourage myself, to believe in myself, to believe in my life and my effort and my ability. Because that's what I believe. That's why I'm here.
Manifestation is not magic. Manifestation is not wishing and waiting. Manifestation is not writing it once in a journal and closing the book. Manifestation is not saying affirmations while avoiding action. Manifestation is not the universe delivering without your participation. Manifestation is not a shortcut around hard work. It's clarity, belief, and consistent action in alignment.
Attraction is a law, but it's a secondary law. The primary law is the law of vibration. The law of vibration is one of the basic laws of the universe. It decrees that everything moves, nothing rests. We literally live in an ocean of motion. Do you know that everything is an expression of the same thing? The leaves, the tree, the cement, the body, the clothes. It's all energy at a different rate of vibration. You see, your body is a molecular structure in a very high speed of vibration. Your brain is an electronic switching station. Your brain does not think, but you think with your brain. There's a difference. As you activate brain cells, you set up a vibration in your body.
Many people, when they learn these new ideas about goal setting, they make a mistake. They think, wow, I'm going to go out and I'm going to make $1 million in a year. And the fact of the matter is that $1 million, if you're making whatever you're making now, to jump to $1 million in most cases is so big that your conscious mind rejects it as being illogical, not acceptable, impossible. And if your conscious mind rejects it, it never gets to the subconscious mind. Remember, your subconscious mind can only accept as a command something that you totally believe in the conscious mind.
As a matter of fact, it's quite often these current bad ideas and rotten feelings about ourselves and others that prevent us from creating and controlling positive images. Whenever we try to visualize something positive, we end up with this feeling inside that somehow we're just lying to ourselves. We know it isn't true. We know it isn't real. And as I'm sure both you and I have experienced, when we don't believe in our visualization, it never gets off the ground.
You know, I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you. And me signing my signature with Champion 2011 on it, it can't hurt me. It can't hurt me. It could only help me to believe it even more. You know, so yeah. I mean, it works for me.
When you change, the experiment is, will your life change?
Yes.
Okay, so then now you attack the belief.
Yes.
It's not like, oh my God, this is something that's bigger than me. You attack the belief like, this is no longer serving me. Complaining is making me unhappy.
Yeah.
living by this emotion, justified or not, is not loving to me. This is down-regulating genes. My body's believing it's living in the same event 24 hours a day if I feel the same emotion. Okay, well, let's change that. So when the person is taking on that belief, like if I change, my life changes. And I think most people try to create a new personal reality as the same personality. It doesn't work. We gotta become somebody else. So if you took that on as the truth, okay, I gotta remember that if I change, my health could change. If I change, my life could change. Okay, now it's a different game now. It's not like a have to. This is like I want to change to see my life change, right? It's more of a want to.
Your brain knows that you're not a millionaire, but now you're saying, I am a millionaire. And so your brain goes to work to close this gap between where you are and where you want to be. And your brain starts to work 24 hours a day. And it works and it gives you ideas. Each person here has what is called the superconscious mind. And this mind has been talked about for 5,000 years, and some call it the oversoul, and some people call it the God mind, some people call it God, spirit, whatever it happens to be. But there's this incredible power in the universe that you can tap into. You could just reach into it by simply writing down a goal clearly on a piece of paper, and then this mind goes to work 24 hours a day to bring it into your life.
All you're doing is exploring, daydreaming. What did Lawrence say? All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind waken the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dream with open eyes to make it possible. This I did.
There are things in life that you are not going to change, or at least you're not going to change them overnight. For example, you and I cannot change that there is discrimination in this world. There is bias, and there is violence that a lot of people experience. We cannot change the fact that poverty and mental health issues impact people for real. But here's what you can do. You can train yourself to look at the future and decide how you're going to react to and respond to the things that you're facing in your life. You can decide how you're going to heal and what you're going to do about those things for yourself and your community.
The secret really is to become more aware of what's going on in your mind. And you might, to begin with, just become aware of your feelings, and all of a sudden you're not feeling very good. And I promise you, if you're not feeling very good, it's because you've had a whole lot of negative thoughts that you've been giving your attention to, and that's why you don't feel very good.
See, the only criteria you have to have when you set a goal is, do you want it? Do you want it? Doesn't matter how you're going to do it. It doesn't matter where the money's coming from. I once heard a cute story where the Maharishi, when he was taking transcendental meditation, or deciding he was going to take it to the world, one of his close associates said, "Where's the money going to come from?" He said, "Wherever it is right now." I always thought it was such a beautiful answer, because the truth, everything you need, everything you want is already here. Nothing is created or destroyed. I didn't dream this up. It's the way it is. All science, all theology tell us that. The way to get to the moon was already here, always here. When President John Kennedy asked Dr. Wernher von Braun, who's considered the father of the space travel, what it would take to build a rocket that would carry a man to the moon and bring him back safely to Earth, von Braun answered him in 5 words: the will to do it. The will to do it. Will is a mental faculty that gives us the ability to concentrate. You got to concentrate on what you want. That's all you can concentrate on. And that will keep you on the frequency that you have to be on to attract everything that you need to get there.
Every victim has a victim story. You ask somebody, a victim, what's going on, they'll give you a list of complaints about what's wrong and who did it. Fannie Lou Hamer once said, "I got sick and tired of being sick and tired."
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes.
So when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, something happens, and you start to open up to a possibility that maybe I'm in my own way. Maybe there's something more than what meets the eye.
And would you say that if you are stuck and you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're in that space where there's no movement and you've tried everything, that it means you need spiritual momentum or you need an awakening.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need, you're going to need something that is not within your little mind and your little perception. And that's where prayer comes in. That's where meditation comes in. That's where life visioning comes in. So if you just said, help, I'm open, I'm available to something new, now you're on your way.
When you visualize something really strongly and you integrate your senses, your brain can hardly tell the difference between that being true and that being a created feeling by you. And because anything new is the biggest threat to the brain, uncertainty and novelty are the biggest threats to the brain, the more you visualize and embody the thing that you want, the more likely you are to take healthy risks to get it when it appears around you in the real world.
When you visualize what it is you want, it opens up your perceptual filter to let in more information. Right now, you're not aware of what you're feeling in your right foot, but as soon as I say it, you can all feel it. It was getting filtered out by a part of your brain called the reticular system. You are filtering out resources and solutions to your problems all day long. And the only reason you're filtering them out is because you've not had an image in your head that you are going to solve those problems and get those results. Once you do that, it programs this part of your brain called the reticular activating system to open up and let in more resources, to let you see. You'll only see enough to match your vision. If you think you're a $100,000 a year person, you're going to see just enough to make you $100,000 a year. If you think you're a $300,000 a year person, you're going to see just enough to do that. Your perception is controlled by your beliefs and your goals.
Is that every one of us has self-limiting beliefs. Every one of us believes ourselves to be limited in some way. Every one of us believes ourselves to be limited in intelligence, creativity, money-making ability. I can't sell. I can't speak in front of audiences. We tend to think that we are not capable of being on time. We're not mechanically inclined, and so on and so forth. But exhaustive research demonstrates that talents are pretty evenly spread throughout the population. That most of the limitations we have do not exist in reality. They exist only in your own mind. And one of the starting points of great achievement is to start questioning those self-limiting beliefs and throw them off and act as if they did not exist.
We're literally programmed from birth to let the outside run the inside. We're programmed from the time we're born to let our present results dominate our mind. Now that's rather sad, but it's the way it is. If we don't really recognize that at a very deep level and change it, we're going to keep getting the same results.
The master key to riches is self-discipline. And what we have found is that the most successful people have come to that conclusion as well, is that self-discipline is the master key to success. So for you to write down your goals and make a plan and set priorities and start with your most important task takes tremendous self-discipline. If you haven't done it up to now, it's so hard. But Goethe said everything is hard before it's easy. And everything at the beginning is difficult, but later it becomes easy and automatic. You have to force yourself to discipline yourself at the beginning, but after that, it becomes easier, and you actually feel happy.
What we give out, we get back. And what we believe about ourselves becomes true for us. Our thinking creates our experiences. There is a law of thinking like everything else, like all of nature. There is a universal energy or law of mind or subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it. But to me, it means the power that is within me and around me transforms my thoughts into experiences. Every thought we think and every word we speak is creating our experiences, our future. And it's almost as though every time you think a thought or you speak a word, that universal intelligence or energy is listening or responding to what you are thinking or believing or saying. Whatever we choose to believe becomes true for us.
People that are super successful are often called visionaries, and the reason is they close their eyes and they see the future. You create your future by envisioning it, By visualizing your goal as already completed, by seeing it nothing but net every time, the body starts to respond and adjust itself to create the result. When you visualize what it is you want, it opens up your perceptual filter to let in more information. You are filtering out resources and solutions to your problems all day long. And the only reason you're filtering them out is because you've not had an image in your head that you are going to solve those problems and get those results. Once you do that, it programs this part of your brain called the reticular activating system to open up and let in more resources, to let you see. You'll only see enough to match your vision. If you think you're a $100,000 a year person, you're going to see just enough to make you $100,000 a year. If you think you're a $300,000 a year person, you're going to see just enough to do that. Your perception is controlled by your beliefs and your goals, okay?
You know why they don't support you. They saw you start from nothing. And now you're making moves they only talk about. But here's the truth. You're not building to impress them. You're building because something in you refuses to settle. And when the real ones show up, the ones who see your value without needing proof, that's your audience. That's your tribe. So stop begging for support from the crowd you were never meant to perform for.
If you can't sit still and ignore your notifications and focus on one task for 8 hours straight, never expect to build something great. The biggest risk to your future, my future, anyone's future isn't our competition. It's the distractions that we insist on keeping in our lives rather than doing the things that we know we should be doing more.
You want to make more money? Perfect. Clock in. If you want to become more financially literate, you're going to have to pick up the books and get educated. If you want a better physique, you're going to have to eat healthier food and you're going to have to exercise. Not focused on the future, but focused on what you can do today. And by natural law, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
And I'm going to be very, very hard on this one. Only risk takers win. By definition, if you are the same as everybody else, if you're not taking a risk over and above what everybody else is taking, by definition, you can't win. If you're doing exactly what everybody else is doing, how can you possibly win? You have to be different to win. You have to take risks.
You have to be crazy enough to think that it's possible. That's how you beat the fucking odds. That's how you create something worth living or dying for. When you truly believe, everything else will figure itself out.
You know, I got a special talent.
Yes, you do. And it takes talent to make money. But it takes brains to keep it, Mal.
You want to become a billionaire, then you have to think like a billionaire. Billionaires do not think about pennies and cents and dollars. They think big, and they think of ways of getting there. It's a mindset.
I was raised to believe if you don't go to school, you can't get a good job. I hadn't gone to school. I didn't have a good job. I owned the whole company. So then I started to think, I wonder how many things I believe are not true. Most people that are teaching don't know what they're teaching. 80% of the people that teach have never done what they're teaching. That's the purpose of life. Overcome ignorance. Develop awareness. The only way to overcome ignorance is through knowledge. And the only way to get the knowledge is to study. Most people, they finish school, close the book, say, that's over. I'm never going to open another book as long as I live. They're screwed. It's all over. Smart's got nothing to do with it. They have shifted their paradigm. They've knocked the wall down, and they built an image, and they followed the rules. They just didn't know what they were doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I was earning over $1 million a year. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. What I was doing, I was reading this every day. I was listening to the recordings every day. I was reprogramming my subconscious mind.
To live the good way, you have to live the hard way for a while, right? I get to say I'm blessed to buy my childhood home. I have a farm in New York. I have the house of my dreams. I fly in a private plane. I'm 56 years old. I've been hustling every day of my life since I was 14. Time and hustle and failure and getting kicked in the teeth and what you do in the invisible when you think you're going to lose it. I don't think I can make this. I don't know if this one's going to work out. I over leveraged myself. What if it doesn't happen? I put all my money in this thing. It's like you need all of that to season a man or a woman that can actually handle that level of success. You have to pay your success tax. It's as simple as that. There's no fast path.
This guy stopped me at a stoplight. He was like, hey, Goggins, why am I not getting better? I'm a big-time goal setter. I run half Ironmans. I run half marathons. I go for that new promotion at work. Why am I not getting better? I asked him a question. Do you have fear of not reaching those goals? He said no. Okay, that's the problem. You're setting goals you know you can reach. And when you do that, that fear, that insecurity, that doubt, that's where you grow. He's not getting that. You must always set goals that you think you cannot achieve. And in there you get better.
If you're afraid, don't do it. If you're doing it, don't be afraid.
If you give yourself 30 days to clean your house, it will take you 30 days. But if you give yourself 3 hours, it will take 3 hours. This means that work expands to fill the time available. So ask yourself a really hard question. Should this thing take 3 hours? Or am I just allowing it to? Every minute that you save is another $1 in your pocket.
This is a problem. If you don't even know what you want, if you cannot write down right now on a piece of paper, this is what I want. If you can't list them, this is what I want, then you can't have it. Because your mind will get for you what you want, but you have to feed it a vision of what you're looking for.
It's not okay to work your life away, but it is okay to work your 20s and your 30s away.
You should push yourself beyond your limits of tolerance in your 20s to find out where it is.
You have the capacity to bounce back from it. You can take bigger risks and move back in with your parents if you need to.
How much can you work? How disciplined can you become? Like, can you work 12 hours a day? Can you work 8 hours a day? Can you work 3 hours a day? Like, flat out. Where's your limit?
A wise person once said, great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. See, great minds can see into the future. Average minds can't see beyond the present. And small minds stay stuck in the past. What idea did you discuss today?
Do you have any experience?
No, sir, I have no experience, but I'm a big fan of money. I like it. I use it. I have a little. I keep it in a jar on top of my refrigerator. I'd like to put more in that jar. That's where you come in.
I say be happy with what you got.
You'll be happy. Me, I want what's coming to me.
Oh, well, what's coming to you, Tommy?
The world, Chico. And everything in it.
The rich trust their vision and doubt their fear. The poor doubt their vision and trust their fear.
Look around this room right now and notice everything you can see that's brown, okay? Everything you can find, it's a test. Look all around, both sides of you, anything you see that's brown. People at home, look at that in your own room. What you see is brown. Okay, close your eyes.
Okay.
Tell me everything you just saw that was red. Now, obviously, you saw a lot more brown, didn't you?
Yeah.
Why? Because you're looking for it. Open your eyes. Now look for red. Look for red anywhere you can find red. Any place you can find red.
Okay.
Okay? Did you find more red this time?
Mm-hmm.
How come?
Because I was looking for red.
That's right. Once you develop a belief, you find what supports it. So watch this. You will find stuff that's not even there in order to be successful. I bet you saw some beige, called it brown just to feel successful, did you?
Right over there.
I bet you saw some things burgundy and called them red just so you could feel successful. If you think you're screwed up, you're messed up, you're going to find and you're going to color yourself that way. If you think someone else is a jerk, whatever you believe is self-evident. You reinforce what you believe. You found what you were looking for.
Now, fear is going to be a player in your life, but you get to decide how much. You can spend your whole life imagining ghosts, worrying about the pathway to the future, but all there will ever be is what's happening here, and the decisions we make in this moment, which are based in either love or fear.
One of the core secrets of success is this. The conscious mind can only hold one thought at a time, positive or negative. If you want to get rid of a negative thought, the mind is not like a vacuum. It doesn't stay empty. If you want to get rid of a negative thought, you have to knock it out, if you like, with a positive thought. Replace anything that's holding you back, any fear of failure, lack, poverty, rejection, loss, or anything else. The key to your success in life is to use the power of your subconscious mind to program it with thoughts, words, pictures, ideas, and feelings consistent with high performance, and keep your mind on what you desire and off of what you fear. Remember, the only thing in the world you can control is your thinking. The only thing in the world you can control are your conscious thoughts, and if you will do that, everything else will become possible for you.
Why does it always come to money?
Why not? I mean, everything you got on costs money. Everything you do costs money.
When you don't have money, you don't realize. Like, think about right now, if someone grabbed your throat and squeezed it, what would you think about? The only thing in the world. is oxygen.
Yeah.
Right? How do I get more?
Getting free.
Right? But you're not thinking about it right now because it's abundant. It's not on your mind. But what you don't realize is when money is lacking in your life, it focuses all the time. I would do that for my kids, but I can't. I'd love to take that vacation, but I can't. I'd love to do my own thing. I'm sick of this unfulfilled job, but I can't. I'd love to be at every baseball game, but I can't. It all boils down to money. I don't care what anybody says. You have the money. You're in control of your decisions. You're in control of your calendar. So I didn't realize I spent so much of my life with the throat being choked, but it was money. And I watched that's how my parents lived. I can't go to the baseball game. I can't put the window in the back of the car. We got to get evicted from this trailer because we don't have what? We don't have money. Right? I'd love to say that we live in this perfect world that you don't need money to have choices in your life, but in most cases you don't.
If you want to do anything great, it has to become your one true priority. It has to become your number one overwhelming desire, because nobody accidentally got rich. Nobody accidentally built a great physique. Instead, they were obsessed with it for multiple years until they no longer had to think about it. It just became their baseline. It's who they were at that point. Just think about it. If you want to get rich, do you really think that you're going to achieve that without having your life revolve around it until you achieve it? That's why most people don't achieve anything great.
So every night when you go to bed, there's a period just after you close your eyes and you're essentially disconnected for a moment. Your brain is operating in theta. Well, theta is hypnosis. So I said, what can you do? And this is the old story. You've heard people do it. You put a pair of earphones on at night. You play a program that you want to be true in your life. And while you're awake, you might hear the program, but it's the moment you fall asleep, the conscious mind shut off, but the subconscious mind is now in record theta. So whatever is coming through the earphones at that moment after you fall asleep, you don't hear it, but the subconscious mind is hearing it and downloading it in a state of theta.